Hello, gorgeous. So welcome to this training. I'm excited to have you on this training, and I want to share with you the foundations of feminine energy. So I love this conversation so much because it's one of those conversations that most people don't have, and most women actually don't know, but it's a life-changing one. So here I'm sharing with you the foundations, like the feminine energy, the first class, and I want us to start by first of all understanding what is feminine energy, right? So one thing is that is that the word feminine energy can be so everywhere around, and you never really ask, but what is feminine energy? So feminine energy is the energy of being. It is the energy of being and the energy of flow and the energy of just being in the present and in the body, right? Why the masculine energy is the energy of doing. It is the energy of action, right? So if you want to put two words into it, we will say the feminine energy is the energy of embodiment, like embodying something and something being part of you, just being in your body and being like a part of you. Why masculine energy is the energy of putting action, doing something out there, right? And I don't want to limit it here because most people limit it here. If we want to say it in the other way, we will say feminine energy is the energy of being in your heart, right? And this is now the centers. What are the centers of these energies? The center of masculine energy is the mind, is the brain, is the logic, right? So masculine energy is logic, brain thinking, structure, doing, analyzing, everything that has to do with you being in your head, in your mind, right? Strategizing, doing, thinking, brainstorming, all of that is masculine energy, right? Because the mind is the center for masculine energy. Why the feminine energy is the energy of the center is the heart and the womb space, right? And I'm going to explain detailing shortly. But the energy centers of the feminine energy is the heart and the womb space. So this means that the feminine energy is the energy of being in the body, being meaning that you're not doing, you're present, you're embodying, you're in your body, your heart is open, is the energy of love, the energy of flow, that energy of heart opening, which is like the heart center, which is your heart is open to people and you have love, you love people unconditionally and you bring peace to people, you bring joy, you bring smile, like you're just can I say like a divine being because you have an open heart, right? So that is feminine energy. And then the womb center, which is now also part of feminine energy, which is another energy center for the feminine energy, is the energy of power, but not that kind of physical power, but internal power, which is resilience, strength, inner strength, intuition, pleasure, connection to self-pleasure, desire, fun, play, seduction. So that down here, like our womb center, is the center of another flavor of feminine energy. Now, so what are the flavors of feminine energy? The flavors of feminine energy are there's the light feminine energy, like there are so many flavors, but for this purpose, training purpose, and this is like the foundation of feminine energy, we're going to discuss mostly two flavors of feminine energy, but there are so many flavors of feminine energy and how the feminine expresses herself, right? So the feminine energy, the two most common flavor that are necessary for you at this stage is two, right? The light feminine energy, which is now the heart energy, which we talked about. So why is it called light? It is called light because it's the energy that when people come in contact with, they experience light. It's like them, they open up themselves. They are just in, like, it's beautiful, it's light, it's fun, it's play. So the light feminine energy is actually the energy of being, the center of being, and the energy of being, the energy of nourishing. And if there's one word that would define the light feminine energy, it would be unconditional love. So the light feminine, someone, or when you tap into your light feminine energy, you start being this person who opens up your heart to people. And you're able to love people because you're no longer wounded. You're no longer trying to think that people will take advantage of you. You're no longer trying to, see people as, let me protect myself. I will not be safe. Someone is going to hurt me. You're actually open. You actually have an open heart and you can let people in, like anybody, a little kid on the street, a little dog, anything. You just add like this light. Now imagine a light, right? Imagine a light that is so beautiful that when everybody looks at it, they smile. Now, imagine you just walking down the street and just be in this very free energy, playing, just happy with a beautiful smile on your face. And then a little dog or a little child, you see a little child and you're like, oh yeah, it just lights you. You're just in this energy of love, right? And the things that really ground us into feminine energy, or the activities are fun, or that characterize feminine energy are fun. And it's fun, which is like it's play, and it is love. So feminine, like the heart energy or the light feminine energy, somebody is going to be in that light feminine energy when you will see them and you will think, oh, this is a nice girl, right? And we're going to talk more about this. So it's the nice girl or the loving being, right? Now, when you're the nice girl when you're wounded, because you can be nice and at the end of the day, you're just people pleasing. You're just wanting people to like you. You're just making all of those things, like you're just being loving, not because truly you're so loving inside and you're just pure love flowing, but you're actually acting to earn other people's validation. So that's the nice girl energy. But when you're healed and you're truly like the divine light feminine, you're just a loving. You don't just know why, but people just get attracted to you and people just connect with you because your heart is open. People can just easily see you and like, hey, let me do this for you. Let me help you. Let me do this. Like people can just easily greet you. Other people may normally not say anything to. You can just be walking, not even be like conscious or something, but just because you're so in that loving, you're in love with yourself, you're in love with the world, you're in love with, like, people just come, like you just attract people, you just attract things, you just attract opportunities. So that is the light feminine energy. Is the energy, that energy of, if one word to describe it, is unconditional love. So to tap more into your light feminine energy, the thing that you need to do more is, first of all, you need to heal any trust wound, right? Any hurt, pain, or whatever that has been caused by people. Because what happens is that when people have hurt our heart, when we have wounds and trauma in our heart center, right, which is like people have hurt us, maybe in the past, it could be in any way, we then put up these shields, right, in order to not let people in. Because if we let people in and if we let our guards down, if we're just loving and sweet and see everybody as part of ourselves, then people are going to take advantage of us. But so that is the first thing that we need to do, is just put this guard down, right? And we put this guard down by healing a past trauma, which of course you're going to learn how to do at some level in this course or program. So at this stage, your job is to heal. Just heal your heart, heal the trust, heal the betrayal, heal the pain, heal the maltreatment you had as a child. Just heal that thing. And the very first prompt that you would write is, when was the first time I ever felt that I wasn't safe being or loving others, that it wasn't safe to be open to others? Just think about that, like, and journal on it. When was the first time you ever felt unsafe? Sorry. When was the first time you ever felt unsafe? When was the first time you ever felt unsafe being open and being loving to others? Maybe they took advantage of you, maybe they betrayed you, maybe when was the first time? And write down what happened. And in that moment that thing happened, what did you decide? What did you decide from that moment? Maybe in that moment you decided that I will never open up again, or I need to protect myself, I need to put up a shield. Whatever did you decide, right? Just journal it down, right? And then after that, you're going to write, now that you know that, okay, I wrote this, I decided this about myself, being conscious that this is not true, that and you can ask yourself, is it necessary to actually do this to be safe? And then from that place, you journal the next thing, which is, I, in this moment, decide this about myself. I, in this moment, decide a new thing. Because here's the thing, whatsoever happened that made you to close your heart from others, whatsoever happened, that happened for a purpose, right? And whatsoever happened in that moment, you decided that you were going to become this new person as a result of that. And in this moment, you can obviously decide to be someone else. You can decide to be more loving. You can decide to open up your heart. You can decide to be all of that again. You can decide to really have a fun and free life, right? So that is the first thing. Now, the second thing is that to tap into your light feminine energy, you need to step into the play energy. So the play energy is literally the energy of being free, fun, and just playing, like just joke. Life is not serious, right? Life is not serious. And the more you play, and you, especially after you've healed, the more you play, what you're going to realize is that the more your heart is going to open up, and the more you're going to actually have naturally just have a smile, a happy face, and a very soft and safe energy that people can come into, right? So with that, you want to understand that there's a little version of you. There's a little girl in you. That little girl who was never hurt, the you before you were hurt, the you before you were traumatized, the you before you were wounded. That little girl, it's like letting your inner child out. Play and fun actually activate your feminine energy more than anything you can think or imagine. So play would mean that just be silly, just don't be too serious, right? Like, because that is one part of being a woman, right? Be silly, play, like have, if you have like little children, little kids, just be play. And it's like that little girl of you, that version of you, because most of our inner child or the little when we're younger, it's like we grew up very fast, more than faster than our age. So we didn't really experience the experience of like having fun, playing, jumping around. And even if you experience all of that, that little girl still lives in you. And that little girl, that fun, free version of you is still there. So the more you incorporate play into your life, the more you like in the fun energy, play, and just not too serious, just be fun, like fun and have play activities. For example, one of the things that really helped me so much is in bringing out my feminine energy was spending time with kids. Spend time with kids and notice how free they are, how they are just so loving, they're playing, and it may be silly, but it's just so beautiful. And the next thing is to tap into that feminine energy is to nourish. Find something that you're nourishing. So the feminine energy is the energy, remember I said, is the energy of being, is the energy of flow, and is the energy of nourishing. So the nourishing is the part where you are nourishing and taking care of something, because that connects you to your heart and it opens you up, right? So this nourishing could be something like a plant, something like a kid, something like a partner or something. So nourishing doesn't come with, it's not the same as mothering. So we don't want you to mother somebody or a plant, because mothering is like trying to tell the thing what to do, but nurturing is like giving that thing the different nutrients it desires or it needs to actually grow. So the way, if you are nurturing a child, it could be, if you don't have a kid or maybe a pet, but at least I know you have like humans, or if you don't have humans, you just get a plant, right? And every morning, what you can do is like you can pour water, or like when you water the plant, and then you can speak nice words to the plant, right? Just speak nice words to the plant. And remember, everything is coming from your heart, because you're just here to share love. You're here to express God. You're here as a fractal of the divine. You're here as part of God. Like God fully lives in you, and you're here to extend his love and shows the world how God loves. He can't show the world how he loves except through you. So when you have opened up your heart and you've healed and you have experienced this love that is so unconditional and you're safe in loving this love, you can share this love with others. You can share this love with the plants, share this love with your partner, just share this love, right? And when you're nurturing that thing, you could nurture with words, you could nurture with actions, you could nurture with so many things, we touch. Now we're going to get into all that because that's like a whole different way of flavor of feminine energy. But I just wanted to share more on this first one, like just find something that you nurture. So nurture is something that you pour your heart into, you pour your love into. It could be your business, actually. It could be anything where you pour your heart into. So because the feminine energy is the energy in general, is the energy of being and is the energy of nurturing, it is important that you understand that you cannot be in your feminine energy if you don't feel safe, right? You can't lean in your feminine energy if there's no safety. So the feminine energy is the flow energy, is the being energy, is the nourishing energy. And that energy needs a container or a space that it feels safe to actually grow into. So if there's no container or there's no space to hold the feminine energy, feminine energy doesn't feel safe, your feminine energy will never come out. So if you don't feel safe in your nervous system, if you don't feel safe in your body, if you don't feel safe subconsciously, you will never be able to lean in your feminine energy. So the very first thing that we are going to do is with safety is that we are going to ask, okay, what is the first thing that gets me out of safety? What is the first thing that gets me out of safety? Because when you are not living in safety, you are in what we call the survival mode, right? So what is survival mode? The survival mode is like when you are to your brain and to your subconscious mind, you are in that energy where you're literally fighting or flying to stay alive. So it is, you want to see it as the energy of you thinking that there's danger and that you need to protect yourself. So what happens is to most of us that we got into survival mode, or most people, is that somehow something happened in the past that got you out of feeling safe into feeling unsafe. And maybe because that thing was so intense and it wasn't processed emotionally and the trauma was stored in your body, and your nervous system actually got stuck in that survival mode, and now you're living on survival mode in autopilot. So living on survival mode means that you are living in the way that you just can't relax. You just can't stand to be in your body. You just can't. And when you are in that survival mode, what happens is that even when you try to close your eyes, even when you try to relax, even when you try to be in your body, you just can't. For example, and when you're in your survival mode, though, you are in your wounded masculine energy, right? So the wounded masculine energy, like I said, the healthy masculine energy is the energy of being in your head, the energy of providing, leading, and structure and protecting. Structure and all of that is to protect. So the wounded masculine energy, which is what happens when you get into survival mode, is that you actually get into the brain, the energy of doing and the energy of thinking and the energy of being in your head, logic, structure, protecting, leading, all this masculine, just being so much in your head because you want to feel safe. So at the end of the day, because you are in survival mode and you don't feel safe in your body, you don't feel safe relaxing, you don't feel safe in your nervous system, it's like something is chasing you subconsciously. You actually enter into that energy of, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to be? Or let me do this. Let me protect. Let me lead. Like you get in that energy of the masculine energy in order to try to protect yourself to be safe, right? But what you don't understand is that you don't actually need that to be safe. You don't need to try to protect yourself to be safe. You just need to heal and relax your nervous system so that you can be able to lean in your body, in your heart, and in your body. And then from that relax and ease place, you can create, right? So some of the signs that someone is in their addicted to survival mode is that no matter when things seems to be going good,
they will just create chaos. They'll create chaos because they have so lived in survival mode that is their normal. They just want to be in a space where they have to be fighting offline. So for example, a good example would be when you if maybe you make money and then you just have to find a way to spend it all just so that you are in that lack mode, because it is what your brain is used to. Like, you just want to be in that place of lack because lack is your survival mode. You just want to be in a place where you're thinking, where next money is going to come from? How am I going to pay the bills? What am I? So you create these things, and then you get in a wounded masculine energy to try to actually keep yourself safe. And then you can't because you're coming from a wounded place. So that is what survival mode is. And how you heal this survival mode is really learning to relax your nervous system, and feeling safe in your own feminine and masculine energy, right? So one thing I want to understand is that everybody has both masculine and feminine energy in them. Men have both masculine and feminine energy in them. But if you identify as a female or feminine being, you should be dominantly in your feminine energy. And if you identify as a masculine being, you should be dominantly in your masculine energy. So this means that you as a feminine woman, you should be a minimum of 70% in your feminine energy at every time, in order to consider that you're in your feminine energy, and 30% in your masculine. Why this is important is because we need a balance. We need a balance of both, because nothing can be created without both energies, right? Nothing in this world was created without both energies. For anything to exist, it needs to have the masculine and the feminine energy. So remember, I said the masculine and the feminine energy there's the flow and there's the structure, right? So for example, for me to drain this water, I need the masculine energy, which is like this container holding it, and the feminine energy, which is the water, because it's flowing, it's soft. As you can see, this is the part that nourishes, this is the flow. And then let's say my computer has the masculine and feminine part of it. So the masculine part of it is the hardware, the physical structure of it. And then there is the software, that is like the feminine part of it, that part of it that is soft, it's flowy, right? And then, so everything in this world has that yin and yang. So it is also called the yin and yang energy, the yin and the yang. So because polarity needs to exist before anything is created, right? So for example, me now doing this, if I want to say, okay, how much energy, I can say I am being like 50% in my masculine energy and 50% in my feminine. Now, why? Which is quite masculine right now, quite masculine. I'm being 50% because me talking and doing I love doing this, right? I love what I do. And because I'm talking about a subject that I really love, and it's just coming from my heart, I don't have a script, I'm not following a structure. This right here, me talking like this is feminine. This is my feminine energy. But then me sitting on this chair, being calm, having this computer to speed and this structure, and then after uploading this video to a site and then having a link, that is the structure. That is masculine energy. So why me talking now, I can say I am probably 60%, or 60-70% in my feminine. I will not say 50, because I really love talking about this, and I'm just I'm just letting this flow through me. I don't have a script, right? That is my own way. But now, if we have after that, I need a structure to hold this information, to hold this, and Zoom is holding this for me. My computer is holding this for me. Somewhere, a platform is going to hold this information for me, and that is the masculine and feminine. So it's not about, let me just be a feminine woman, because again, that is a wounded feminine, right? So what is the wounded feminine? The wounded feminine is when we are, a woman move to the extreme of both ends. It's either she's overly in her feminine energy and she's like 100% or 90% in her feminine, meaning that she has no structure in her life. Like, she can't make her own money. She can't do things for herself she just needs a man. And she's just like this baby who needs to be taken care of. She can't even do things. She can't do things in her business, grow her business, or she can't do things in her life, run her household and all of that. She's just overly like a baby, right? That is a wounded feminine. And then on the other side, we have this woman who is also like very, very like, she got her back. She doesn't want anybody to help her. She's like, you know what? I've got my back and do my shit. I take care of all my things. She's overly in her masculine energy. And she's like, I'm going to do my things myself. And somebody wants to help her. No, thank you. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to hit this goal. I'm going to like, she's so overly too much in her head and she disconnect from her own feminine power. So that is both are wounded feminine. So the healed feminine is the balance, is having a balance of both, is knowing when to create and when to relax, when to be in your just play and not have anything scheduled and have fun and all the things, or being in pleasure, or being in like enter into it, like your dark feminine, which is the other flavor, which I'm going to talk about later, not now, energy and all of that. So it's about a balance. It's about having a balance. And when you create that balance, this is when you start creating effortlessly. This is when you like the little things you do create massive effort, because you're not creating from this wounded place, but you're creating from a healed and powerful place. And one thing you want to understand between the masculine way of creating and the feminine way of creating is that the feminine doesn't create from the head. The feminine doesn't create overly from the structure of the head and all of that. When the feminine creates from the heart, right? And then she creates the structure, which is like she gets in her head and create a structure to hold her magic. And this is where how the feminine builds. This is how the feminine give birth to things, right? So now, generally, one of the ways to start, how can you start stepping in your feminine energy today? Now, the very first thing is that open up to receive. Open up and allow other people to help you, to support you, and to receive. This is going to change your life. Like, this is game changer, especially men. Now, this is one thing. If you are maybe maybe who has overly being in the masculine energy, you are this kind of like, I got my back. Nobody's gonna help. Like, no, I got my back. But what it's and you being like, I got my back is because you feel unsafe letting others help, support, provide, and protect you. So the very first thing you want to start doing is that you want to start saying that, knowing that I am safe. You are safe right here, right now. You're safe in the arms of God. And it doesn't matter what happened to you in the past, right? It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter what they did to you. You are safe, right? You are safe. So you can let those guards down. You can relax and let people protect you, let other people help you, let the masculine protect you, hold you, and lead you, right? Which is the three things we are going to talk about. So that is the first thing that you can start doing today. And we are going to have a meditation about that to really help you to relax and feel safe and let others lead, right? Now, the second thing that you can start doing from based on the flavor I've talked about, which is more of like the light feminine, again, this is like a recap, is that you are going to actually start playing, right? Play, right? So you're going to play, sorry, I want to write something. It just came to my mind. Okay, you're going to start playing, find your way of playing, right? So this means that it doesn't mean play, and feminine pleasure is different from masculine pleasure, right? For example, when a man wants to play, he can go and play video game, right? Where he gives. So for the masculine to be in play, he needs to do something outside of himself, right? Like he needs to give out. For the feminine to actually play, she needs to take in, right? Because remember, the masculine is energy, is the energy of giving, is the energy of doing. The feminine is the energy of receiving. That is why even in creation and in production, creation, reproduction, whatever, the masculine is always there to give, right? The feminine is always there to receive, and then the baby is created, and then she holds the baby, like she nourishes the baby and the baby grows, right? So it is like that. You don't actually need to do anything to receive. You just have to know that receiving is your birthright. Is the way you are created to function in this life as a woman. It is the only way you're created to, you're designed to create, by receiving. So you need to let your guards down and let other people help you and learn how to receive. So that is the big thing, right? So the next meditation, I'm going to guide you through a safety meditation. And this meditation is really going to help you to be able to relax and then to be able to let others hold you, let others, and open up to receive. So again, you're opening up your heart to receive love, receive. When somebody wants to give you something, don't always be in this mindset, oh, you need to give them something back in return. No, just open up and receive unconditionally. If maybe you're at a shop and you want to open something and somebody, you're like, okay, let me do it for you. Oh, thank you. Just lean back and let them do it. Because the truth is that you're supported, you're loved, you're protected, you're guided. You don't need to be in that energy, like hyperly active, hyperly vigilant, happily trying to protect yourself, to prove your point, to prove your worth. You know, because you're innately worthy, you're innately loved, just as you are. So you just need to just be you and let others help you and make your life easy. So start accepting help, start receiving. And this means, and receiving means that you don't just say thank you, but you actually feel what it feels like to receive that thing, right? Because another thing about the feminine energy is that the feminine energy is about feeling, while the masculine energy is about thinking. So for example, if you're a business owner and the way you're leading your business is from a very like logical, like you're like, okay, I'm thinking, what is the goal? We need to hit the goal, the goal, the goal. That is masculine, because the masculine is driven by outcome, it's driven by the future, it's driven by thinking, right? But if you are like, oh, my business right now, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about doing this, right? Now, you do this when you're already in a healed place, because when you're in a wounded place, your emotion actually can be altered by a lot of things. But when you've healed, it's more about, and you've healed your intuition, you've released the trauma in your body, you can, okay, how do I feel? How do I feel doing this right now? Do I feel good or do I not? Right? So, and not feeling good from a wounded place again, because you can actually be operating from a wound because trauma is still in your body and you think that it's your intuition, which is what you're going to also learn later on. So this is literally like the rough basic foundation of what feminine energy is and logical energy and masculine energy is. And I just talked about one flavor of feminine energy, which is the light feminine energy. So it is the energy of the heart, and it's where you have to start from. It's like the step one, learning to open up your heart because you feel safe. So I'm glad and I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know.